Konnichiwa. Oh, what's the title of my video again? What's this video about? Who cares? I'm gonna get like 2K views. And it's gonna just like die off into obscurity.
Google will change their algorithm and you'll get like 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I cracked the code. Fujifilm titles like this. Why you're wrong and I'm right. Why the X100V is the best camera Fuji makes. And why I'm right and you're wrong. And thumbs down. Don't thumbs down me. Thumbs up me. You can thumbs up me if you like. You can do it right now. The video just started. You just hit that thumbs up button already. You haven't seen any content yet. Just thumbs up me now. Okay? Did you do it? Did you thumbs up me yet? I'm not gonna start the video until you thumbs up me. Come on. Scroll down a little bit. It just takes 1 second. Just push the thumbs up button. Did you do it? Okay, I trust you. I trust you. Did you?
You're not gonna use this.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm gonna totally use this.
Stop it.
Okay, I trust that they did it now. That they thumbs up me. Now we can go take pictures in Japan. Take photos in Japan. Is that what you want? So the X100V is the best camera that Fujifilm makes. And I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, I've had a lot of Fuji cameras. From the beginning, let's see, I had the Fuji XE1, XE2, XT2, XT3, XH1, and X100F, and now X100V. Yeah, oh, change it, oh yeah. So I kind of know a bit what I'm talking about when it comes to Fujifilm stuff.
You have millions of fans.
I have billions of fans.
And I'm convinced that the X100V is the best camera that Fuji has ever made. And it's the best camera that Fuji makes right now too, so. Should you buy it? Yeah, you should buy it if you have the money. You should buy it. But kind of the X100F is like $500, $600 now, right? So that's kind of a good deal. So I think a lot of people are wondering, should you spend $500, $600 for an X100F or spend like double to get the X100V? I think that's kind of really where people should be thinking. I'm gonna go over the points with you, tell you why you should spend more money. I'm sorry. So let's go. So the first thing I want to mention is that this camera has a leaf shutter, and that's kind of the biggest thing that I like about the whole X100 series is the leaf shutter. And the leaf shutter really makes it the most unique camera, I think, on the market when it comes to autofocus digital cameras. I can't think of another autofocus digital camera that has a leaf shutter.
The Panasonic LX100.
Really? That has a leaf shutter?
Yeah.
And that's micro four thirds?
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Fake micro four thirds. It's really 1 inch.
It's really a 1 inch?
They have a micro four thirds sensor in there, but like they crop it all weird.
Ew.
It's not really micro.
Yeah.
Almost.
Just kill yourself if you have that camera.
I was very sad to see that because those guys are, yeah. You know, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough.
This has a leaf shutter. The leaf shutter is amazing. I'm not good at talking about it. I'm not good at technical details, but I have a friend, a YouTube friend of mine called Jay Regular, and he has a great channel, and he has an X100V, and he has a great video that talks all about a leaf shutter and how the leaf shutter works on a technical standpoint, technical basis.
But what's the difference between a leaf shutter and your more common focal plane shutter?
Why a leaf shutter is the way that it is.
The benefits to this design is that due to the way it opens and closes, light is more uniformly distributed and does not suffer the rolling shutter effect.
Check out that video. Maybe I'll put a link right here or a link in the description. Probably the best video on YouTube about a leaf shutter. Bought the X100V leaf shutter. So definitely stop watching this video because it's shit anyways, and go watch my friend's video.
Let me show you how this device works.
Right, I'm just looking for a cordless phone.
Yep.
Just kidding. Please watch my video. You did thumbs up me already, right? You did thumbs up me?
Do you perform the natural obligations?
I'm gonna take a photo right now, and then you can see if you hear the mechanical shutter, the leaf shutter. Ready? Did you hear that? I can't even hear it. Yeah, so I have to put it like up to my ear to hear this. And even then, I hear more like autofocus lens noise than the shutter. It's so quiet. It's like a total game changer when it comes to street photography, because you can literally be right next to somebody, like minimum focus distance, take their photo, and they can't hear the shutter.
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
It's huge. It's huge. Maybe you think that like electronic shutters are great, but electronic shutters introduce a whole lot of issues. Rolling shutter, you get a little flickering. For some reason, like bokeh is not as nice too, for some reason.
You can change bokeh a little bit.
It can change, yeah, it can change some things like image quality wise too. It's something to think about. If you want to be really quiet and stealthy, and you're really worried about people hearing you on the street, if you're on a really quiet street. I'm on a noisy street, so the leaf shutter is not really benefiting me right here, but if I was on a quiet street at night, only a couple people on the street, and I go by some people and I take their photo. If I had a mechanical shutter that goes cha-chong, then that's a little bit awkward, isn't it? But with this one, it's just, you can just walk by, take the shot, walk away. Nobody knows the wiser, so.
I fear you're underestimating the sneakiness, sir.
Nothing like too crazy compositionally wise, but I got the subject within the frame. .35mm is my personal favorite focal length, and it should be yours too. If you haven't shot too much with a 35, you should. 35 is more of a challenge, and 28mm is even more of a challenge. So what I like about this camera is that it has the 35, built into the camera, which is my favorite focal length. And if I want, I could put the WCL, what do you call it? Conversion lens, and then you can make it a 28.
All right, guys, power it up!
I like shooting 28 when there's a lot of people around, when I'm trying to layer subjects more and things and get more of a scene, more of an environment in my photos. .35 is just a great compromise between 28 and 50. I think when I look at a scene, I look in 35 because I've been shooting 35 for so long. For maybe since the beginning I started street photography. Been shooting 35. 35 is probably the best focal length that this camera could be. I know a lot of people out there, they want like a 50mm X100 camera. That would be nice, but I think Fuji makes too many cameras, and I mean, for the 50mm shooters, then you can get this. You don't really have to get the teleconversion lens. You can zoom in to 50 digital zoom and shoot 50 in RAW, your resolution gets minimized down to like, I don't know, around 16, 18 megapixels. But come on, that's enough. You're gonna be fine. You'll survive. But in saying that, I do have the teleconversion lens as well. It's not a problem. 35 is where it's at. It's what you should be shooting. And you're wrong if you disagree.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Just taking a picture, a photograph, if you will. Speaking of photographs, this X100V now has a lot of new settings when it comes to image quality, such as the clarity, Chrome FX Blue, Chrome. Color Chrome
FX Blue.
Color Chrome FX Blue. Classic negative. I used to underexpose classic neg. But now, if I'm gonna shoot that, which I don't anymore, but if I were to shoot it, I would overexpose it. I would overexpose it by like almost a stop, like +1 almost. It's a little bit funky. A little bit funky. I was really into it when I had the X Pro 3.
Say that one of the big things about the X100, the white balance shifts are retained in your color profile, your custom settings, like the X Pro 3 did.
Yeah, you get shadow and highlight, kind of visualizations, curves, your tone curve. You have a lot of different options now, and you can save more presets, right?
Save 7.
You can save 7, and you can name them too. I think on the F, you couldn't name them. You can set them, but then you don't have a name for them. Image quality wise, you're gonna get more settings out of this if you're a JPEG shooter, especially the clarity, doing minus clarity as well. Plus clarity is nice, grain as well. Grain is a big one. Grain is one that is really nice if you wanna take some of the cleanliness out of your digital files. Which is how I'm editing more these days. I still shoot RAW for my street photography, and for my general photography, I shoot RAW. But if I'm shooting for just like my family, just like my kid, and I just want to have the photos right away, I'm just going to shoot JPEG. Fuji has the best JPEGs in terms of straight out of camera JPEGs. I mean, this is the kind of thing that is good about a lot of the Fuji cameras in general, but that's one thing about the F versus the V that you should think about, is that if you want to be a JPEG shooter, you're gonna get more options for your JPEGs straight out of camera, if that's what you want. If you're shooting RAW, it doesn't really matter so much.
Oh my god, is that a Fuji? I shoot Fuji too. I love their film simulators.
Oh yeah, so I set my ND filter. The ND filter actually got a firmware update as well. It's not just working in photo, it's also working in video. So that's a really big thing compared to the F and the other cameras out there. You have a built-in ND filter. Was it 3 stops? 4 stops, shit. And you can do it in video. And I set my ND filter right here to this button. If I switch into video, ND filter on, ND filter off. So I'm at F9 with it off, and F2.2, F2.5 with it on. So that's really impressive. That's huge. X100V is a cinema camera, confirmed. It is, man. You have the flip down screen, so you can actually you can do the strap method, and you can just like shoot video like this, you know? And it doesn't have IBIS, but...
I don't want to alarm you, but I don't think IBIS actually exists.
All I want is the perfect camera.
But if you're just doing like stable shots like this, and you're not really walking and talking, and you're just doing this, and then suddenly you have a kind of a pretty good video camera, to be honest, if you're just doing short clips. Otherwise, you might have overheating. So, I mean, if you're just doing like little clips here and there, then you have an APS-C video camera, built-in ND filter. It's like almost like a Blackmagic. It's not as good as a Blackmagic, but you know what I mean. So much like these agile ballerinas, I feel really light and graceful, and go out and do my street photography without feeling too over-cumbered with gear, with stuff. A big thing is if you're shooting candid photos and you wanna shoot with the display, especially, then it's all about head movement. So if somebody's looking your way and you don't want them to continue to look at you because you're trying to catch them in some kind of a moment with what they're doing, you want to capture life naturally, then you should control your eyes, where you're looking, your head movement. Having like your physical presence is there is okay, but pretend that you're looking someplace else. And then when they look away and continue with what they're doing, then you can go ahead and continue with what you're doing.
That's actually the nice thing about 35. You don't have to be right at it.
Yeah, you don't really have to point the camera directly at somebody, especially with 28. With 50, you really have to point the camera, the lens, right at somebody.
Photo. No.
Hi.
Okay.
This is turning into a video about why 35mm is the best. The shutter dial compared to the F or the other X100s. For one, the dial itself is nicer. The ridging on it is nicer. It feels a lot more quality, the dial. And then if you want to change your ISO right here, you can pull this up and it stays up. Whereas the F, it's a spring. So you pull it up, and if you let go, it drops back down by itself. This one, it stays up. So you can even ride your ISO. You can just ride your ISO. It's like, let's say you want to shoot f8, and you want to stay at 2/50th, which is what I do a lot. And then I want to control the exposure with my ISO dial. And I can go down. This is dark, right? So I want to raise it. Okay, what's a good ISO? Oh, that's good, 6400. You know, I'm not killing out the background past the tunnel over there. And I can just kind of decide on the fly by riding my ISO dial, which you can't do with the F. Unless you're holding it there, and then you got to do like really kind of awkward movement while you're holding it up. Like it's just not as good. You can set the ISO to one of these dials right here, right? But what if you want to set these dials to something else? You know, like your shutter, right? What if you want to set it to something else? Well, now you're left with the only option is if you want to ride your ISO, you have to put it here or here. So it's just a thing about you have more options without setting up custom buttons and dials and things like that. It's already set up for you. It's done, out of the box. You can ride your ISO dial, just like your mom. Just like I did with your mom last night. So that's so bad. That's so like 90s.
Mom jokes.
Mom jokes. This is getting really offensive. The display that comes out down like this. This is really big. You can look down at it like this and take your photos while looking down. That will cut out the eye contact aspect, the fear of eye contact with your subject. I don't actually shoot like this too often. It's because I forget that I have this a lot. And that's because I did shoot with the F for so long. But it is something that I should shoot with more. Hey, this girl, you can kind of see a hint of human emotion right there. She's laughing a little bit. It's not that interesting, but you know, you get the job done. You know, you can get these kind of walking through the crosswalk style shots. Desire, emotion, love. I do also shoot with a black Pro Mist filter, Tiffin black Pro Mist filter, quarter power Pro Mist filter right here. And I was
strong.
Yeah, it is strong, but I like it in the daytime. At night, a quarter is pretty intense. Oh, and I'm using this Hauga square hood. This one is not by Square Hood, the brand Square Hood. This is by Hauga. Because the shipping on Square Hood, I wanted to buy a Square Hood, but the shipping is just so goddamn expensive. You rub my penis, I rub yours. Digitally rubbing each other's penises. NFT penis. You can create an NFT penis, and I'll buy it, and then I'll digitally rub it with my NFT penis. This is horrible. This is a bad video.
Yeah. Hi.
Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah, I'm the Jordan of the relationship. I make the sandwiches. So this is my silver, and I have the, I'm Alec, by the way. I have, you know, just little accessories. JJC.
Do you have a mist filter on too?
I do. I have the Kenko today. I've been trying all the different mist filters. They're all a little bit different. This is the thing when you first get this camera. It took me like 6 months to get used to the fact that there's a flip screen, because I always forget about it. You'll be shooting and you'll be on the ground like in a weird position, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm so stupid. I can just do that. But it's kind of hard to get open because it's like you got to get your finger right under there.
Little indent.
That's the only spot. It's not like the XT3 where you can just flip it up.
Yeah.
You got to get, that's it. So you're like.
But they keep it flush, right? Look at that. Look at how flush that is.
But yeah, the other thing is like going back and forth. Like last summer, I was back and forth between this one and my XT2. And this has the new 26 megapixel sensor. What is it? BSI?
Yeah.
Back sensor illuminated. And the only real difference I ever really see is maybe a little less noise in the shadows. Like even at the higher ISOs, if you're like ISO 200 or 400. And then I think you get like a little bit better color at like the higher ISOs. They haven't gone to the HEIC that Canon has yet. And I kind of wish they would, because if you got 10-bit JPEGs, give it a little bit more room on the color grading.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'll still shoot RAW sometimes and then go into like XRAW developer. It's like a really cool app and it's free, so.
Yeah, it's a little clunky, but it's worth it.
A little clunky.
Yeah.
That's another thing, is you can store all your presets in that app, so you can do like 30 or something different looks.
Right.
And then plug your camera in and then just like exchange out the different looks for the day.
Yeah.
So like, I have like probably, I don't know, 20 different looks or 15 different looks, and this only holds 7. So I can go into that program and just like swap them out, you know, when I'm shooting JPEG. Which this is more like my adventure family camera, just out the beach and stuff. So I do shoot JPEG a lot with it. I almost got black this time, but I just decided to go silver. Pretty cool. Black looks cooler in person. Cool. Oh, you covered your flash? What?
Yeah, I covered that just in case I accidentally set it to flash automatic or something.
I see.
Then it's not going to flash when I don't want it to flash. I think a lot of people buy silver.
Yeah, it's more classic. But this one doesn't really have the classic body. This is more like a modern, sleek body. So I think it works better in black. The other one I don't think looked as good as black. They should do one with a brass body, and then when it wears all that patina out, you get like the nastiness underneath.
That's what Fuji's missing out on. They're missing out on this like a little bit higher end luxury segment.
Yeah.
Like
well,
they
they
were
did
almost there with the
titanium.
X Pro 3. Like the
Yeah.
X Pro 3 was like really great because they started using the titanium and stuff. And that's like that's a step in like a really great direction. We should get coffee and talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go get coffee.
All right, it's going to cross right here. There we go. Where do you want to get coffee?
I don't know. How does it feel to be a famous YouTube star?
Super good. For our 500 views. for a review posted 2 years after the camera came out. Here we go. She's like, why are you taking my picture?
Oh, nice. Did she piece you? Oh my god, Japanese people, I swear to God.
Know, man.
They just are so fast with the piece. I can't believe how fast she threw the piece on him. It's not like that bus was going slow at all.
No.
That bus was not going slow.
No. What's cool about the ND is like at daytime you can do those slow shutter shots when like cars and bikes are going by.
Yeah.
Because you can still be at like f8, have the ND turned on, and then be at a shutter of like 15, 1/15. It's pretty cool. Get like the slow shutter effects in the day.
Oh yeah.
Get the slow shutter thing while you walk. It's fun. Yeah. Like you can't really do that with other cameras unless you have an ND filter. I'm at Starbucks forever. This is a large in Japan. Can you believe it?
That's a large. No, that's a small. Stop fucking around. Like 5.
So if you quit drinking coffee, you can have a roll of film every 2 days.
Oh yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because the roll of film's like $7 or 10 to 7, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So this is 3. So every 2 days, if you don't drink, or if you have 2 coffees a day and you quit drinking coffee, you could have a roll of film every day.
Yeah.
That's if you buy small in Japan.
But then you gotta develop the film. You gotta develop the roll.
No, you don't. It's not about developing it.
You just shoot it. You just throw it.
Yeah, you just
throw it in a box.
Yeah, exactly. You just tell people you shoot film. You go to parties and stuff and have your film camera, do a couple of shots.
You think shooting Fujifilm gets you pretty close to film?
No.
Like, do you think that if you set up the JPEG well enough that you can tell the difference between film and
I think if you're just shooting daylight, and you maybe do a little tweak to it in post, like do like a yellow or red curve to it, maybe close. But like the minute you go to the city and shoot with like street lights or at night, it's like film just reacts totally different to all the lights, you know. So like if you have the red light, like if you were going near a restaurant, you have like the red light, and there's like a city light that's like these would pick it up as like green. Like that balance is going to be totally different on film. So it's like, and then I feel like film like colors, those lights like bleed over into more colors a little bit more. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like, I don't know. I feel like colors blend differently, whereas digital everything's just like so precise. Some guys are good if they go in and Photoshop it, frame like shot per shot, but just having a look that applies over to everything, I don't think so. At least I've never seen any looks that feel like film in Fujifilm.
We went on a trip to Miyazaki through Kyushu, and I shot all film, and you shot all digital. And I wonder when that video is going to come out. Because I have so much scanning. So yeah, on our trip to Miyazaki, I shot all film on my Voigtlander Bessa R2A. I was trying to shoot through all my color film that I have, which was like a lot, like 12 rolls, something like that. And I shot them all. I shot all 12 rolls, and I developed it all. And now I have to scan it all, which is like a huge amount of time. It's gonna take me like weeks to scan all that film. And so having the X100V, a digital camera that can give me pretty nice JPEGs that are, you know, film-ish, is pretty nice. And yeah, it's kind of like, I like shooting film, I like shooting color film, but color film is expensive to shoot, develop, and because I'm not developing at home. I develop my black and white at home, but I'm not developing color at home. I'm scared. I don't think color film is that worth it to me. Personally, it's not worth it to me, you know. I like shooting black and white film. And if I'm gonna shoot color, I'm gonna shoot digital. I'm gonna shoot my X100V or my Leica M10. I will compare actually my Leica M10 to my X100V in a future video. So stay tuned to that. Everyone in countries that are getting vaccinated right now and your lives are going back to normal and you're taking off your masks, well, in Japan, we're going to keep wearing our masks for probably the rest of the year, don't you think?
Forever.
Forever, you think? Maybe it never stops. We're going to be wearing masks for at least the rest of this year into next spring, I feel. So if you want to come to Japan when life is back to normal, it's going to take another year at least. Oh yeah, I have to record a segment where I'm a Leica snob, but I'm using an X100V and then I trash it. And I have to send the clip to my friend Lintaro because he's making a video. Where's that? Shit Leica photographers say.
Hi everyone, Samu here, and this is Shit Leica Photographers Say.
Bam! My other car is a Noctilux. Stupid. Cameras are like paintbrushes, and I'm the paint. I remember when I was a child. I have to send him a clip, because we made a bunch in Osaka, but we need more. Isn't this APS-C?
Yeah, it's good.
Ew. There's no bokeh at this distance? On full frame, I can get a lot of bokeh on my Summilux. That was bad. Cheers. Cheers to those who can afford an X100V. I have a Leica M10, and
when someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god.
That's an amazing thing to say. But at one point, it was an amazing thing to say, like, I have an X100F. And I felt really lucky to be able to afford a camera like that. I don't know, I think everybody has their different thresholds of what they consider to be an expensive camera. Don't stress too much about a camera's features and this and this and that. And I mean, yeah, this camera has a lot of great features and a lot of improvements. But if you can't afford the V, get the F. The F is amazing. I don't want to discount that camera at all. The F is still amazing. It is softer at f2, the lens, but that softness, you'd be surprised how much it doesn't matter when it comes to taking good photos, taking great photos. A little bit of softness in your lens is not going to kill you. And in fact, you may want that out of your digital files to have a softer look. So it depends on what you want. But I think no matter which camera you go for these days, you can still take great photos. So don't stress out too much. I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube and like mine especially, that always kind of give you gas and make you want to buy new gear and things like that, and you get jealous and you get hyped and this kind of stuff. But I don't want people to feel like they can't take good photos if they don't have the right gear, because it's just not true. You can. So I want to end this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Stay humble, and I love you all. Goodbye.